the first mortal to ascend as an angel in all of Dragon Ball history. Could this truly be the destiny reserved for Broly? With uncontrollable and extreme power, as he faces his opponents, his rage takes over more and more, and with that, the fury of a gentle warrior becomes known through the weight of his fists. Once a legend, now brought to life and increasingly gaining prominence in Dragon Ball Super, we have a chance to witness a warrior whose destiny was to be born with a power that far surpasses the elite of the Saiyans. Is he a freak of nature or a bearer of some divine gift? As he fights, he uses only his rage, adapting and overcoming any barrier. This is Broly, a legendary Super Saiyan, winning the hearts of fans and everyone around him more and more. But Broly's extraordinary talent isn't just about fury. He has shown that when focused, he can understand many things. And from this point, we start today's video. Just like Broly, with a clear mind, I ask you to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and don't forget to like the video. A comment below, which do you prefer, his Berserker mode or for him to fully master his power? A new warrior has joined forces with Goku and Vegeta after a confrontation with both, which forced them to use nothing less than fusion. Vegeta, as always, wasn't happy about it, but Broly was able to fight Gogeta on equal terms, adapting with each second of the fight, driven to more fury by Frieza, transforming into a true beast. It's not every day that a warrior forces Gogeta to use his final weapon and rush to end the battle because of the danger Broly represented. Thus, Gogeta realized the real threat of letting Broly adapt to his power, even unconsciously. That's how he was magnificently brought into Dragon Ball's canonical universe. It couldn't have been any different. But now that's in the past, and Broly is no longer the same person. Now he can be who he always was, calm and peaceful, traits his father never allowed him to express. His father only thought of revenge, having been pursued since childhood. But now, as Broly trains with the Z fighters on Beerus planet, he is learning to control himself. He's also a good observer, so to train him, all it takes is a little push. That's why now that he's staying on Beerus planet, after Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, and the others return to Earth, he can focus on a different type of training. This new focus allowed him to see more than he had during Goku's battle with Gohan, which helped him transform and control the legendary Super Saiyan form. A genius move. He found peace in the midst of a fight of great powers between the beast that Gohan was, increasing his power without losing control, and Goku's calm as he revealed his Ultra Instinct. Amidst all of this, Broly found a point of focus, brought it to himself, and understood. So, we can think of it this way. If Broly already saw himself like Gohan, searching for strength without losing control, during his training, he had a key point to start from. But how did he manage to demonstrate the legendary Super Saiyan with his Berserker form without losing control? It makes sense to say that he needed not only Gohan, but also Goku to reach this point. When he saw the Ultra Instinct and the beast before him, he understood what he needed. And who better than Whis to teach him, since one of Whis' traditional training methods is mental training. Goku and Vegeta evolved greatly after starting this style of training. Gohan and Piccolo follow the same pattern. Since the early days, we've seen Piccolo training mentally. The mental aspect is very important. If we follow this same training pattern with Whis, what is the best path for Broly? Should he continue like Gohan, channeling his beast-like nature to push his power to its limits, or adopt the calmness of Ultra Instinct, attacking only when necessary? Broly doesn't need calmness to access raw power. What he needs is battle experience because he absorbs it very well. But if I were to bet, I'd say he'd choose calmness, as he's always been that way. He would lean more in that direction, but he wouldn't abandon his beastly nature. So, we can expect a mix of forms from him. Perhaps the fury of a calm person, similar yet different from Gohan. But taking this into account, where could he go? Ultra Ego is entirely discarded here because, to me, it only works for Vegeta. It's like his signature. Then we have Ultra Instinct, which has many derivative forms. Even Master Roshi used it during the Tournament of Power. During the Tournament of Power in Dragon Ball Super, Master Roshi demonstrated impressive skills that resembled Ultra Instinct. He showed a level of evasion and reaction that suggested a connection to this advanced combat state. However, he didn't fully reach Ultra Instinct as Goku did, but his decades of experience and discipline allowed him to display remarkable control over his body and mind. Master Roshi proved that even as one of the oldest fighters, he could still surprise everyone with his skill and wisdom. A living legend indeed. Then we have Beerus form, who already masters Ultra Instinct at a very advanced level. However, he's not often seen using this technique in the anime. What we do know is that, as a god of destruction, Beerus has access to abilities and powers far beyond mortal warriors and even Saiyans. Beerus naturally masters Ultra Instinct, which allows him to react and move instinctively during combat without needing to think. While Goku is learning to use Ultra Instinct consciously, Beerus already does so instinctively and with greater refinement due to his position and experience as a god of destruction. But Goku had to reach another stage to use it with greater mastery. Now that he has accepted Saiyan pride, he can demonstrate the natural mastery of Ultra Instinct. When it comes to Whis, there's not much to say, as angels are the original bearers of this technique, so it would be another stage for Broly to discover himself. Who knows, maybe the Ultra Instinct of the Beast, something we imagined with Vegeta, an attacking Ultra Instinct, where his thoughts are far ahead, like a supercomputer, thinking way ahead, or even a peaceful Ultra Instinct. But I don't think he would choose to be like Goku, and neither would the writers. I believe he would start from a different premise, developing a form derived from it, just like Goku did, something visible like a transformation. Perhaps the long-awaited Super Saiyan in his fourth form might come to light in Dragon Ball Super. Because, think about it, it's obvious it won't be the same as in Dragon Ball GT, but it could definitely be something like a beast. That would be really cool, but they could also do the opposite, and I wouldn't complain, something even seen as a Golden Knight Shaka. The Golden Knight closest to achieving a divine level is the Virgo Knight, Shaka. He is often described as the man closest to God due to his immense wisdom, serenity, and spiritual power. And Broly has an enormous ability to judge situations when he's calm, thanks to observing, absorbing, and taking things for himself. So, we need to use more of this power of his for him to evolve even further. Let's draw a parallel with his fights so far to see if we've missed anything. Starting with the epic battle between Goku, Vegeta, and Broly in Dragon Ball Super. Broly, it is one of the most intense in the series. The fight unfolds in several stages, with Goku and Vegeta using their Super Saiyan forms and even Super Saiyan Blue to try and control Broly's immense power. Despite their combined efforts, Broly continues to grow in strength and fury, forcing them to fuse into Gogeta. Broly's mindset during this fight is marked by uncontrollable rage and brute strength that seems limitless. In the manga, there's a significant moment where Goku asks Broly to train with Gohan, exploring a new dynamic between the characters. Gohan, known for his latent power and control, faces Broly with the intention of helping him manage his anger and channel his power more efficiently. This fight is not only a physical battle, but also an attempt at connection and understanding, where Gohan tries to bring balance to Broly's internal chaos. If we look at these fights from the perspective of Yin and Yang, we can consider Yin, darkness unconscious, represents Broly in his mental state of uncontrollable rage and disorientation, representing darkness. He is chaos and destruction, fueled by trauma and manipulation. Gohan and Goku against Broly represent the need for balance and harmony, trying to tame Broly's fury and bring order to the chaos. Yang light, conscious. Goku and Vegeta symbolize consciousness, the light that seeks to understand and control the situation. They represent controlled strength and strategy. The fusion of Goku and Vegeta is the culmination of this attempt at balance, uniting forces to face Broly's darkness. Broly's duality, his ability to switch between a state of uncontrollable rage and the potential for redemption, could very well put him on a path to achieve an almost divine state. If Broly learned to control his anger and channel his immense power, he could reach a new level of existence, possibly even rivaling gods. As mentioned earlier, training under Whis could allow Broly to find this balance, transforming into a deity capable of protecting the universe rather than threatening it. This yin and yang perspective and the potential divinity of Broly bring a deep, philosophical layer to his narrative, showing how balance and control are essential to achieving true power. It's really cool to look at it from this angle, and it ties into something known in Japanese culture that is connected to Buddha. Who knows? Maybe Broly is destined to be the first mortal in all of Dragon Ball history to ascend as an angel. Buddha, before achieving enlightenment, was a prince named Siddhartha Gautama. He lived in luxury, but upon discovering suffering outside his palace, he abandoned everything to seek the truth. He went through years of extreme asceticism before finally finding the middle way and achieving enlightenment, becoming the Buddha, the awakened one. Now, making an interesting parallel with Broly. Since his birth, Broly has been marked by immense, uncontrollable power. He lived in a state of constant turmoil, driven by his rage and primitive instincts. Buddha, before finding enlightenment, also experienced extremes, luxury and deprivation, in his search for truth. Broly's interaction with Goku, Vegeta, and their friends can be seen as a turning point where he begins to realize the need to control his power. Siddhartha's moment of enlightenment under the Bodhi tree can be compared to the moment when Broly finds peace and control over his immense power. With proper training, especially under Whis' guidance, Broly could find balance, a way to channel his power in a controlled and beneficial way. Siddhartha found the middle way, a life of balance between extremes, which led him to enlightenment. If Broly learns to control his anger and channel his immense power, he could reach a new level of existence. Training with Whis could allow Broly to find this balance. With this control, Broly could and the potential for redemption adds a deep layer to Broly's story, showing how balance between power and control is essential to achieving true power, perhaps even the divine state needed to become an angel. With this parallel, I conclude today's video. Thank you all for being here, and please comment a lot on this video and tell me what you thought of this idea.
See you next time.